Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris, and I have such a cool video for you all today. I'm joined by the mastermind behind the after hours entertainment at Bloodstock Festival with the awesome Lloyd. Thank you so much for joining me today, man. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks. The mastermind. God, jeez, you always sort of set people up for disappointment when they look at a badly shaven, late middle-aged man, and you've called him a mastermind. But yeah, I'm really good. Bit warm, but I've got a pint of red wine to calm me down, and I'm looking forward to the questions you're going to ask me. I think it's going to be a challenge.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great, man. I mean, like, say mastermind, what would you call yourself?
I don't really know. The thing is with any event, I think everything needs that sort of person who organizes, who is the kind of the glue, if that makes sense. And I think more that I'm I'm kind of like that kind of weird semi-floaty icy sea that kind of glues icebergs together because my team are just so brilliant and so free flowing that you can't control them, and at their best you don't want to control them. You want them to float free, but you kind of have to stop them destroying the Titanic. um so you sort of have to let them flow free and be exciting and only expose 1/10 of themselves to the world, hopefully, because otherwise they'd get arrested. And then basically just be themselves, but then you have to be there and you have to be the bigger iceberg to rein them in at times. We never have to rein our guys in. They're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. But I suppose largest iceberg in the flow.
Fantastic. Cool. So, I would usually start these interviews where I talk to artists about like their obvious starting points, how they formed, where they got their band name from. But I guess for yourself, I'll ask, when did you start DJing and how did you end up starting with working with Bloodstock?
Okay, so I started DJing more or less. There's two starts I had. I used to DJ at Hollywood's in Ipswich in the mid to late 90s. I used to do the Viper Room, which was out the back, which was terrible. But I used to enjoy playing a mix of things like Atari Teenage Riot and digital hardcore and proper digital punk. Because I'm actually not, as you'll probably learn from future questions, I'm not the biggest metalhead you're ever going to meet. But then in about 2004, I was just DJing for a mate of mine in Essex, guy called Danny Ox, who's actually DJing VIP this year. He had a year off last year, but he is absolutely an astounding DJ. He's a brilliant guy and a long-term friend of mine. We've been friends over 20 years. And he was promoting gigs, and I was DJing this local venue when I lived in Braintree in Essex. Braintree, massive. And I just started doing adding a bit more to live shows and also hosting it because I've in a previous career I've had quite a lot of formal training, and I'm a formally trained sort of MC. And yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but I used to announce the bands, add something to them, and also play absolutely mad music and do things like play the YMCA at heavy metal gigs. And it went down well. And then from there, we just started acquiring gear, promoting our own gigs. We had our own festival for 10 years called Bay Days, where we actually had anyone from Tech One to In Me to Fearless Vampire Killers, Don Broco,
Wow.
Def Havana, Fakemodo played like free entry shows, which is Sam Ryder played for us twice.
Brilliant.
Which is just the maddest thing. I mean, like, I think 2008, 2009, Sam Ryder played for us in the acoustic afternoons for
Brilliant.
free. Uh,
Brilliant.
yeah, and we had a lot of fun, but all the time I maintained the fact that I was a DJ and I'm actually completely talentless, can't play a single instrument, and all I can do is press play on a CD player. But I started at Bloodstock. I was DJing the Big Lick in Colchester with a guy called Jay Binstead, who again is a massive friend of mine, long-term friend of mine. And in 2013, he said, "You guys could help me out do the VIP in Bloodstock." And it was when it had like a kind of prom style marquee for anyone who remembers that, with like chandeliers and stuff.
What on
um
earth?
yeah, don't even go there. I mean, if Reedy ever watches this, Ian Reed is another good friend of mine who I met in 2013, who now lives in Ireland. I was just testing the speakers on a Sunday morning and started playing SL2s on a ragger tip, and we had a kind of impromptu hour-long early 90s rave at the first Bloodstock we ever did. And we just provided the kit. We did a bit of DJing. We DJ'd Sophie actually with the four DJs of the Apocalypse. And from then on in, we kind of fitted in. We got asked back. And then we started making suggestions as we grew more confident, because we'd obviously had that 10 or 12 years of gig experience behind us. And now we took on Phil, who now runs VIP. So Phil joined us. We started in 2013. Phil joined us in 2014. And now Phil's taken on VIP and I've taken on Main Arena. Um, and it's kind of like, I think, I hope for Bloodstock that it's made it more diverse, more interesting, and it's given you more things. Plus, we're now trying to be the faces of those stages, of those things that you as customers, you as punters, you as friends, you as anyone can go, "I don't like the blood rave. I want metal music all the time. I want you to play Anil Nathrak's entire back catalogue." And I just go, "Yeah, okay." And I listen and I try and make sure that people are heard. And if we can fit things in, we do. But that is the précis of it. I hope that answers your question.
No, completely, yeah. I think it was like last year I made a comment saying, "Oh, the blood rave's not really for me." And I remember he actually replied, like, going, "Oh, that's a shame."
But the thing is that so this year we've got the blood rave on. But we've brought back Darren from Dead Soul and Dawn from Raise Your Horns to basically raise your dead souls, doing power, folk, pagan, you know.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is we're not trying to fill every avenue. We can't fill every avenue. We want to. We'd love to do metal karaoke. We'd love to give people the films back. We'd love to do that. But there is so much legislation. There's so many noise police. There's so many things that are just boring that we don't want to tell you about. That's my job. My job is to be like annoyed by everything and just do the best I can. And we do try. We try also with the festival to look at. So I was keen to do like a proper traditional 90s metal night. I spoke to a girl actually in Midgard last year. Really lovely, lovely lady. She's lovely. She couldn't have been nicer. And I said, let's do a 90s night and let's try and get the bar to sell reef and hooch and stuff like that. And because I want to be a completist about these
Yeah.
things. And actually, when I was chatting with Simon and Rachel, because this is the other wonderful thing about Bloodstock, we directly talk to the festival coordinators. We are in direct contact with them. They take us seriously. They listen to what we say. We're in direct contact with the fans. We bring a message back. If they don't hear it on the message board, but they hear it from us, they take real serious notice. And what was thought was actually there wasn't a lot of power and folk. There wasn't a lot of pagan metal this year, other than Ivor, I think. And you could. There's not a lot you can argue that's folk, pagan, power this year. But we thought we'd do a night, and we love Dawn so much, and we actually really like. What I really like as well is I love having a good mix of DJs. Like everyone goes on about the isms, everyone goes on about this. I don't have people on stage that aren't good DJs. However, I don't want women, young women, girls, trans people, anyone looking on stage and going, I couldn't do that. Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. You're most welcome to join my team. If you've got a talent and we can use you, we love it. So we want to be as diverse as possible. I realize I've got a bit political there, but like I
No
want to be
problem.
as no, I want to be as diverse as possible. I want to show people I do not want young kids coming to Bloodstock, looking on stage and feeling they cannot do that and smashing their dreams. Because who are we to ruin kids' dreams, man? So
Oh, yeah.
we want to like I really want to encourage like everyone. I think if you've seen the video that's on Insta and on the Bloodstock page, I'm like, get a 20 quid Argos guitar and just
Yeah,
play
I
the
saw that.
damn thing. Yeah, just play the damn thing, because let's get people on stage, let's get people up there. We are not we're not exalted gods. We're lucky, lucky people. And if you told 12-year-old me that I'd walk past Scotty in of Anthrax at catering and go, all right, mate, how are you? I really like Attack of the Killer Bees. It's a great album. And then I'd go, oh God, I sound like an absolute idiot. Oh no, I'm 46 and I sound like an idiot. And if you'd have told 12-year-old me I'd be doing that, mate, I'd have drunk another cider and cried a lot more over a girl I couldn't kiss. Um, and then listen to the new My Chemical. No, I wasn't. My Chemical Romance weren't out then when I was 12 or 13. Christ, what was the nearest album out? Um, I'd have bought Ministry, Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste, and probably the new Madonna album.
Well, you mean, got to keep your music eclectic. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, love all of that. That was awesome. I mean, basically, for everyone watching, I reached out to you to do this because you put a post up on the forums asking if any vloggers, content creators wanted to chat with you guys, basically get involved with the audience. I was very happy to hit you up. But what prompted you to want to connect with us more, the customers, the content creators?
Because I think that I want to smash down the barriers that that exist between the performers. I mean, are we performers? No, we're not. We're just idiots who press play on music. But I want to smash down these barriers. I want to be approachable. I want us to. Yeah. Bloodstock is an approachable festival. We are all interested in the music, whether or not we all love metal music or whatever we love. We all love music. We're also all, and slightly childish is going to be a stupid way of putting it, but we just have a sense of fun. Simon Hall is He's hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious. Rachel is a wonderful human. She's a really nice person. She's real. You can chat to her, and she goes, "I've got to go. I've got to go to the school run." You actually run like the biggest independent, and you don't think about these people having lives. We all have lives, and I wanted to reach out, but also conversely, I wanted to utilize every channel we can get to kind of give you guys an opportunity to talk to us and, well, see it from the inside. See it from the inside and see that in actual fact, all the people that buy tickets and all the people that help fund all the things that are done, they're actually done by a lot of people that are very similar to them. And like the work that you do and that Billy and all the other people do that are vlogging, um, it's brilliant. It's absolutely awesome. The promotion that you guys give, not only Bloodstock, but also alternative music. Look at you wearing your Mountain Cooler t-shirt. Like I say, I mean, great band, supported creator, opened for creator at
Yeah.
Bloodstock. And Mountain Cooler, God bless you for letting me announce you. But it's the work that you do. You're not appreciated, and I also felt that I always want the people who go the extra mile without being paid. And I stress to you that, you know, there's not a lot of money in this. This is
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
career option
yeah,
in
yeah.
what I do. But we have a lot of fun. You have a lot of fun, and I wanted to make sure that like you guys felt that you were rewarded and you were getting something back. And if we could do that, then that was cool.
Brilliant. I mean, yeah, I mean, just, again, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to do this. This is super cool. I mean, go back to what you said earlier about being, well, if you told your 12-year-old self what you'd be doing. If you'd have told me when I started this as a hobby 6, 7 years ago, I'd be talking to someone working at my favorite festival, I would have gone, that's fucking mad. So thank you so much, man, for doing this.
Not me, not at all. We're gonna. I tell you what. Now we're gonna have beer, and I'm buying at
Hey,
Bloodstock. I take it you drink, but I mean,
of
we're gonna have.
course.
If you don't drink, we're gonna have an alcohol-free beer or a coffee because we're gonna be sensible. Because you don't have to drink beer to have fun at a festival. But whatever you want, you are joining us, and you're having a beer with me. That's no question. Everyone has a beer with me because ultimately, like it's a love thing, man. It's reggae. You got to love it. It's good times.
Of course, brilliant. Cheers, man. Cool. So, as for Crushing Sounds, it's myself, my brother, and our mate Ruben who do this channel. We love doing the after hours stuff at Bloodstock. It's one of our favorite things about it. But I have always wondered, and I've been dying to ask you this: do you sometimes ever feel like you're competing with binge ousting?
No, no, not at all. Not at all. Binge ousting. The things that go on at Bloodstock um, are options. We're there to provide you with choices. We're not there to dictate the right or the wrong choices. I can only give you the choices I'm allowed to give you. Um, there's a cult following for different things at Bloodstock. There's a bit like, I don't know, listening to a band like Nana War of Steel. You're not always gonna get Norwegian reggaeton, right? There's not everyone's gonna get that song because it's a bit cult. And that song kind of portrays the whole thing, like that what you do. Not everyone's going to get the blood rave. Not everyone's going to get the silent disco. However, the people that do get binge ousting, the silent disco, Nana War of Steel, Watain, personally, I watched Watain when it just smells of fire and they're shouting a lot. I think I'll wander off to the bar. Great. It's the options are there so people have fun. You pay for your ticket to go to the gig, you pay for the bands, you've supported the bands, and it is at this juncture that I should just say if you love the bands, the way the economy is at the moment, the best way you can support a band is to buy their merchandise.
Hell
The
yeah.
best way you can help Bloodstock Festival is go around telling everyone about it, tell them how brilliant it is, buy a ticket, but also buy a t-shirt because that really, really helps the festival. But the choices are there. The choices are there for everyone to make. And I think if you have a problem with more choices, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. So I'm just there to make it. And Ben Joustin, Hypnotoad and all those guys, I can only say best of luck, boys. One day I'll come along and just be a part of it. But in the meantime, at 47 years old, I'm probably too fragile, or by 2 a.m. in the morning, I'll have had way too much buckfast.
Brilliant. Cool. So we are fast approaching, of course, the big weekend. So have you guys in the After Hours team, is there anything special or new planned for this year?
We're doing the same. So we're doing the same things. What we like to do with After Hours is we want to create something that's kind of regular, habitual, but has changes and variants to it. So you'll probably see that the Silent Disco and After Hours crew have their own T-shirt this year, for
Okay.
example. So there's a merch thing. Um, every video at the back of Sophie, at the back of the DJs, is custom done. So every video this year will be different. I've designed it. alongside a guy called Chris Phillips, who does a lot of filming for people like Ariana Grande. He does the Mobo Awards. He did the Isle of Wight Festival. He's a good friend of mine. And luckily, he was coerced into, if I give his boy $100, because he lives in Boise in Idaho. So if I give his boy $100 to take him and his mum out for dinner, then apparently he'll do the videos for me. But he does it because we're friends. And so custom videography, that we're looking very much like with Matt of Signature Brew. So Signature Brew are running the bar in Midgard this year, and if you haven't read about Signature Brew, I spoke to Matt today, who's running the bar down there. He is absolutely magnificent chap, head screwed on, even knew what a CDJ was, uses the right terminology. Love him already. Can't wait to be working down there. But we're going to be dropping, I think, 2 sets a day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, down in Midgard, plus the Wednesday. I think we're going to be doing a few things down there. Midgard, though, isn't going to be metal.
Okay.
We want to stress that Midgard's going to be the DJs doing DJ things. So you're going to find that I think we're still just waiting to confirm this with the DJs. But the DJs, the things we were looking at the moment are like 8 and 16-bit game soundtracks and like
Oh,
movies.
brilliant.
90s hip hop, a big day disco. So Marissa was thinking about doing like a disco during the day. I think Jamie's going to possibly. We've got Jamie, who's not really DJ with us before, but he's joining. He's a very experienced metal DJ from Essex. He's going to be joining us this year. We're really excited. He's going to be running Midgard, and he's going to be probably doing a bit of metal. And then if they let me down there in Midgard, I'm probably just going to do like reggae, dub, and ska. Um, just we want Midgard to have that kind of like the sets are going to be. I think they're planned to be 2 till 4 in the afternoon and then 6 till 8. What we were planning is like you've woken up, you've had a fry up or something, or you've eaten a protein bar and you've gone, oh God, I'm really hungover. And you crawl to a Midgard bar, and at 2 o'clock, someone's playing like, I don't know, Chic or like, Warren G or something. And you go, God, I wasn't expecting that. And it's more sort of chill out, half volume, not too pushy. And again, I know people are not necessarily going to like that, but the design is more that it's kind of like a village green. You can put your sunglasses on, get over your hangover, have a pint of signature brew, and chill out. There's also going to be some, I think there's going to be some things going on down there in the signature brew hall. So you've got to look out for that. And I'm sure there'll be some alerts about that on the Bloodstock channels. But, the whole of Midgard is designed to be that. Other than that, no, we've got the Silent Disco back on the Thursday and the Saturday.
Mhm.
Dawn and Darren on the Friday, and that's in New Blood. Dawn and Darren are on Friday night. They're doing a live DJ set, doing power folk, pagan, and sort of some crazy. Yeah, you're so
Hell,
excited about
hell
it.
yeah. That was
Yeah,
amazing last year. I can't wait.
yeah. I think Dawn has a surprise this year. I
Oh,
know what it is, but I've paid for it. But I mean, it's hilarious. But I can't wait to see the videos. And obviously Sunday we don't do anything in New Blood because it's packed down. Sophie Stage Thursday night. We've got Colin DJ Press Play, who's a regular guy, amazing DJ, mate, very good mate of mine, doing the welcome party. He's going to be running you through like all the bands that are playing, and playing some sort of metal bangers and some classics, getting everyone in the mood for it. Friday night is the Blood Rave with me and Marissa. We are so excited to play Chase and Status and a load of house music, inappropriately at a metal festival again. Saturday night is Gary Newey and Friends, which is Gary Newey and Raised by Owls.
yes. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's gonna the videography for that alone is gonna be silly. And then Sunday night is the might that is Rich Harris closing out. And if you've never been to a Sunday night party, the thing that I would say is Rich Harris always starts with about 5 people in the audience. Everyone's like, "Oh mate, I'm dying, I'm dying." By the end of it last year and the year before, he had like 1,500, 2,000 people, and he honestly is an absolute legend of a DJ. So that's the rundown. If we get to do anything else, I think I'm doing Crusher Nori in VIP with Crusher. I'm obviously on the team Compare as well, so I'll be announcing a few bands. Really looking, really looking forward to announcing a few of them. But I'll just leave it at that. I'm really looking forward to announcing a few of them, and but it's just going to be another. I always like to keep busy at the festival. I don't like to be
course.
quiet.
Of course, brilliant. I think it's fair to say one of the more popular things that you guys bring is probably the silent disco. It's always one I have to get there for way ahead of time to ensure I can get in because it's always super popular. Was there ever any talk about? I don't really know where this might work, but was there ever talk of putting it somewhere which would allow for? Is it space that means it has to be limited capacity, or is it number of headphones?
Um, so right when we started the silent disco out in main arena, it was 350 headphones and me and Rich. The following year, we increased it to 550, and we brought Marissa in and gave you the cheese channel, the dance channel, and the metal channel. The following year after that, we raised it to 850. Last year we were at 1,000, and this year we're at 1,000 headsets again. Um, the issue we have really is, I mean, and I've got to say this: everyone at Bloodstock last year, we rented 1,000 headsets. We returned 998 headsets.
Fantastic.
That's testament not just to my crew. That's testament to everyone who goes to Bloodstock being awesome. That's just thank you so much for the care and attention, because if it costs the festival money, when people graffiti Portaloos or whatever,
Yeah.
don't do it,
Don't do it,
because
people. It's the
yeah.
cost of a band that they have to pay to if they get fined for that shit. Stop it.
And unless it's a good picture or it's no, don't do it. Just write it on a piece of paper and stick it up with blue
Yeah.
tack
Yeah, do
or
that.
any available other sticky fluid that you may find. Um,
In the Portaloo as well. Jesus
oh
Christ, man.
no! I could show you the videos. Anyway, but I mean, the silent disco, we could take it bigger, but then are we to be Arctangent or 2000 and Trees? And I don't think we are. I think that what we do, um, it gives you 2 nights. We are probably, I would argue, the most extreme silent
Oh.
disco you're ever gonna get. I mean, you are not gonna get Pantera's Walk versus the YMCA versus I mean, sorry, Marissa, I don't even know what you play. It's just some. It's the no, Marissa is she's such a good DJ, and she reads the situation so well, and she is just throwing out dance and getting people going. And it's that you can be in a nightclub, you can be in a traditional nightclub, you can be at your nan's 80th birthday, or you can be at like a kind of regular rock and metal club night, with Rich Harris, Marissa, and myself basically getting you to swear at the DJs, because that's the other thing that we do.
Yeah.
We're very, very keen, if you've ever been in there, to kind of chat to you via your headphones, thank you, be self-deprecating, but also get you to shout things, sing things, dance. Because if we see you guys having fun, we're having fun. If we don't see you guys having fun, then we're doing something wrong, and that stresses us. So, and I mean, last year, I mean, you weren't to know this, but last year, Matt, the drummer from Machine Head, was stood beside me. I had some other guests beside me. Yeah, I mean, I know Matt really. I know Matt well anyway, and I've known Matt. I'm not going to drop him in it with the names of his previous bands, but if he ever calls me, he comes up on a particular name on my phone. But and you know that isn't name dropping. That's just the fact that you get if you get to know these people, then you know, like me saying earlier, Sam Ryder played for us. You get to know these people, you get to know them for life. You don't get to know them just because they're in a famous metal band. In actual fact, I couldn't be prouder of Matt. I couldn't be prouder of him. And to have him next to me drinking far too much tequila and lemonade last year was a lovely experience, and one I like to repeat as regularly as I can because I don't get enough time to spend with my friends. So, but the silent disco is, I don't really want to change it. If we put 2,000 headsets out there, would it make it any better? I don't know. I think an oversold event,
Yeah.
an event that kind of is, and we've had cues from New Blood way past main stage sound world,
Yeah.
way past main stage sound world. It's and people sit in Lemmy's bar. They don't come in the silent disco. They just sit and get drunk and watch the silent disco. Because if you've ever watched it from outside, listening to people singing like System of a Down, and then in the same sort of moment they're singing the Grease Mega Mix. If that's not the absolute head funk, then I don't know what is. It we like it the way it is, but again, we're not against change. So you know, if change is ever thought of, if we can make it better, we'll make it better.
Yeah, cool. I mean, the new blood already, when I've done the silent discos, it does feel like it's kind of bursting at the seams a little bit. So I don't even think you could, I don't know how much more you could increase the capacity of that thing. And I don't really know where else you could do it.
Sophie, you could move it to Sophie in theory, but the logistics of doing it, those headsets are very expensive. We have a really good relationship with Chet at Silent Noise events. My job is to forge relationships in my area, and we have built really good relationships with people on behalf of Bloodstock. And you know what? I don't want to risk hacking them off. I just want to keep everyone on side, everyone running. And I think keeping it kind of strictly limited edition means that when you get in, you know you're in for a good time. You know, and honestly, man, the team wakes up knackered
I'll
and
bet.
frazzled after that. And we start so my day starts most days at Bloodstock at 7:30 in the morning. We get catering. We're very lucky and thankful for that. Without those 3 meals a day that the senior crew get, you govern your day by your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, and then you know that you've got to go forward. But when the bands stop, our show starts. So we've had to, if you imagine, we've had to go through the entire day of the festival, having fun, enjoying ourselves, doing everything else, comparing, meeting people, if people recognize you, you know, doing whatever. And then we have to start showtime. Now I've
So,
got a massive purple cock behind me.
hey, there you go. Brilliant. Cool. So, anyway, so I remember at my very first Bloodstock, it was in 2017. Uh, on the Thursday on the Sophie stage, there was a karaoke. I know you alluded to it earlier. Why has that not come back?
Um, Being flatly honest, logistics. You only have so many staff that you can let in. The festival site, Catton Park, can hold so many people. X amount of people. It's a finite amount of people. You would not believe that Bloodstock just crew, okay, just crew and like security, catering staff, crew backstage, meds, litter pickers, all those people that you don't necessarily get, cleaners. all the people who are absolute heroes of that festival, right, that you don't even think about, that is a small goddamn village.
Yeah.
It's a small village, man. And like you can't fit. You can only fit so many people. So we're limited by the amount of people we can fit in. We're limited by the amount of changeovers. We are also limited by how we feel about the security on the stage.
Right.
I don't particularly feel comfortable with people who are not used to being in the stage environment being on a stage. It is a tricky environment to be on. There's cables, there's different hazards, trip hazards. Sophie stage is particularly high. So, from my point of view, I prefer to keep things very, very simple. I have previously asked to do karaoke because I know it was asked for, and I have looked at doing that on the formerly Jaeger, now EMP stage.
Mm.
However, the sound wash, different things, different noise complaints, running different stuff like that. So, my thoughts on anything is that we run something wholeheartedly or we don't run it at all. I would not ever run anything half heartedly. I would not ever run anything that I was uncomfortable with the safety aspect of, or the production aspect of, or the benefit of. I think karaoke is a great thing. I think it works in a confined environment, and I think in say somewhere like VIP or somewhere like into the EMP stage, it would be perfect. Somewhere maybe even in Midgard, and we're not against that. So what we do with all these ideas is we hold them, and then say in a year, 2 years, 3 years time, the Midgard bar and cinema area graduated up to being its own tent. Because bearing in mind, in 2013, the VIP tent was literally a 350 person marquee. It's now like 2,000 people or something, I think. And it's got like covers, Phil's put covers bands and like DJs and like the puppet theatre, Professor Elemental, Crush and Nori, all those things on in VIP. VIP has grown. So what we're trying to say to everyone at Bloodstock is like we do listen, we absolutely 100% listen, and everything ticks over in your head and you keep it. But there's time and a place and an opportunity, and we're waiting for that. We're waiting. That's all we're doing. We're just holding it in reserve. And I think that there is an opportunity to make that work, but I am yet to find it. But when I do, 100%, 100% committed to making new stuff happen and making different stuff happen. But for now, with the uplift in bands as well. So, you think like you say that, and when you first went to Sophie, yeah, hang on a sec, Sleep Token played Sophie, and then they're headlining like Wembley.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Bloodstock's move. We've got Nail Bomb this year and Static X, and Cataclysm on that stage. And I mean, they ain't small bands. Static X is going to be a roadblock. Nail Bomb's going to be an absolute roadblock. And you're not looking at the same Bloodstock you were looking at when the previous incumbents were taking charge of DJing or taking it over. You're looking at a different festival. You're looking at a festival that's progressed, that's moved on. It's had different things go on, and we're looking at different. The bookers are looking at different acts. They're looking at different things, but they are moving it forward. So there's a progression, and with that progression, we have to work. Make sense? I hope that
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that makes total sense. You mentioned the EMP stage. I've always wondered that in the evenings it's just sort of there. But you occasionally use it. And you mentioned before we start recording, you had a funny story about a certain band that played there after hours a few years back.
Oh my God. And well, that was when it was the Jaeger stage. And Yeah, I mean, our hope is always that we can use everything. However, we are budget limited. We are also staff limited, as I've said, and we were very lucky. I think it's 2022 to have. Oh, I don't want to swear, but I
Oh,
have
go
to.
for it. Go for it.
Yeah, you know, I was. This is the funniest thing about comparing when you announce them. There is a video of this on YouTube, and it is the complete set. And my voice is absolutely shot to bits because it's Saturday night, and I go, "Give me a K, give me a U, give me an N, give me a T, give me an S. What does that spell?" And they go, "Cunts," and I go, "Yeah," and that's not rude, ladies and gentlemen, 'cause it's spelt with a K. And also, it's an Anglo-Saxon word, and there's a Viking reenactment at Bloodstock, so that's fine. We're allowed to use that word. However, Cunt and the gang. I asked they're friends of mine. I've known them a long while. Funny enough, another funny side story. The last time I saw Cunt, I'd actually bought him a Rolf Harris for his collection. So good old boy. I gave him a Rolf Harris and he bought me lunch at the local cafe. So that is a world exclusive. Very few people know that. Um,
Brilliant.
it was a real investment. It's quite a funny thing that the art gallery receipt said, I hope you get to enjoy this Rolf Harris print for many years to come. It didn't then in brackets say until he gets convicted of being a horrendous sexual predator. But you know, I'm sure the people definitely didn't get rid of it because of they definitely did, didn't they? But Kay has a collection of that sort of thing, so he likes that. But when we had them play, they had just done the Boris Johnson is an effing C song, and they came on stage, and I'm not going to steal his thunder other than to say it is the most miraculous thing I've ever heard at Bloodstock because King Diamond was definitely lording it up on stage and had a child up there and had different people up there and was wandering around. And the crowd started a chant that just said, "Fuck off, King Diamond, fuck off, King Diamond." And then he walked on stage and he goes, "So, ladies and gentlemen, it's lovely to be here on Bloodstock's smallest stage. And I'd like to thank King Diamond for supporting us this evening. With a stage show like that, it looks like you've got a lot of promise." And I just think, if anything sums up the ethos I want to have with Bloodstock, it's kind of that self-deprecating, funny, enjoyable, I don't know, just sense of humor that just everyone kind of, you know, everyone kind of needs once in a while.
Absolutely, yeah. Cool. So we're a few weeks out now from Bloodstock. What does your life look like now between now and the weekend itself?
It looks slightly different because I've changed the lighting. Um, uh, I was just getting annoyed by the spotlights behind me, so now I'm slightly grey, everyone. But
No worries.
hello,
We've,
I'm
we've done
still
a
here.
done a fucking tour of your house.
No, well, I just decided to turn the different kitchen lights on. I did, for those people who don't know, I actually live in Suffolk, and I live kind of by the sea with my chickens, and my fiance, and we have actually a very quiet life, really. But the next 3 weeks, other than running my business and taking care of my parents' business as well, um, it basically involves making sure that all my team are comfortable, all the legalities, so all the accreditations filled in. I mean, you wouldn't believe. So things like people don't see this element of it, but if you're in charge of a team, there you go. Hello, I'm back again. There's light. That's these low energy bulbs. Um, but you have to accredit your team. So if you're responsible for them, everyone has to go down. You have to give them the particular pass they're required. There are different accreditations for guests or for crew. Um, everyone needs to know their place, everyone needs to know where they are, everyone needs to know how they get there. Because ultimately, my job as leading a team is to make the rest of my team, my artists, my crew, as comfortable as possible. Happy people are good people. Happy people like look after you, look after themselves, and look after your team. So my job is to make my team happy, make them comfortable, ensure that they know what they're doing, they know where they're going, because again, a festival is an incredible, incredible machine. And if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, which is exactly why you don't allow people on stage that shouldn't be on stage. It's exactly why you don't have people wandering about where they don't need to be. It's not a privilege. If you've ever been on stage when a band are performing, most people now use in-ears. So literally all you can hear is a man hitting drums. It's very, very dull. Um, but my job is basically to make my team happy, make sure the riders are all in place. I think Dawn is spiced rum and Diet Coke, for example. Darren is vodka and lemonade. Darren of Dead Soul. Make sure that me and Marissa, little Em, are looking bougie by having bottles of champagne. Um, it's it's just all those final things, and then the other thing is also obviously always making sure that our partners and our friends, our relatives who are not coming with us are going to be cool while we're away as well. So if you've got pets, make sure they're fed, make sure they're looked after. If you have a partner who's not coming with you, make sure you understand that. Make sure you tell them that you love them and kind of go, "That's cool," and thanks for letting me do this. It literally is just laying the carpet out in front of you for the smoothest possible transition. And then when you come back, because you're going to come back on like the Monday afternoon, you go, "Oh Christ, I think I've died 10 times." And it it really does take it out of you. I mean, 20, I think they average 20 to 21-hour days for my senior crew, and around about 15 to 17 miles walked a day.
Oh, wow. There's plenty of idiots out there who might look at like DJing and say they're just pressing play and whatnot. But evidently, the amount of work you guys put in every weekend is absolutely incredible.
No, not really. I mean, DJing is mystified by a lot of people. But DJing, I think the thing that you have to maintain with DJing is it's not a pulpit. If you want to preach to people, join the church. Um, you're not going to teach people good music, and they are not going to teach you good DJing by telling you to play Slipknot when Napalm Death's going to fit better. The job of a DJ is to try and keep most the most people, happy that they can. It's not a nice job. It's not a fun job when you get criticism. However, we take it really seriously and we try and make it fun. If we fail to do that, hey, this is my face. I think Aussie Man says that. Here's my face. Now buy a T-shirt. I've only got 6 million YouTube followers, and I haven't no Aussie Man. But anyway, it, it, anyone can learn. I could take you up on stage and I could teach you to DJ, to press play on the CDs or the whatever media you chose to use. One of us could teach you to do that in 10 or 15 minutes. The difference between, say, you doing it and us doing it is those nuances in the silent disco when we pick up on maybe our channel's lost a bit of verve and we're like, guys, you guys are absolutely amazing this evening. Thank you so much for being with us. You mean the world. Now let's absolutely bring this back up with Carly Rae Jepsen. And like there's knowing and there's fighting and there's different kinds of DJing, and it's very much like the Blood Rave. The Blood Rave was bought as a risk at Bloodstock. It's my kind of music. I love digital music. I like industrial. Marissa likes her dance music. We like to work together because I like to challenge myself. We like to think that that's worked really, really well, bringing something completely different. Like you have a Friday night now that isn't metal. It's not metal. It is industrial. Like that. So I'm still playing. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like there is still a lot of industrial that I'm playing. There's still quite heavy drum and bass. There's still trance. There's techno, but there's also really dropping house in there and stuff. And you know what? The response last year, I think there was still about 1,500 people in there at 2 a.m. So we're trying to make it different. We're trying to do something, but we're trying to be creative as well. But DJing, the skill of press and play on a CD player, anyone can do it. And I want to encourage anyone that if you don't want to play an instrument, try being a DJ. I mean, you can buy a little Newmark controller that goes into your laptop for like 25, 30 quid, an equivalent, and just have a crack. I mean, if I can do it, you can. I'm an idiot. So you definitely can do it. I'm an idiot with bad t-shirts and no hairstyle. I'm losing my hair anyway. I can't even grow a proper beard. But we want to encourage people to do it. We want to, because the other thing about us lot is if someone comes along who's better, who's genuinely better than us, I'm magnanimous in defeat. I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun for 12 years, man. If there's someone better than me, um, you know, by all means. But I hope there isn't. I hope to continue, and I hope to be welcomed as I am by the Bloodstock masses because everyone who comes to Bloodstock is amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to see what you guys put us all through, give us, entertain us with this year at Bloodstock coming very soon. And we always consider like the end of the last DJ set on that Sunday is like the proper like end of the festival, even after the headliner, because we love it so much. It's such a cool part of our entire weekend. So I want to thank yourself and your entire team for the many, many hours of entertainment that you've given us over the years that we've been going to
Cheers.
Bloodstock.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
No
That
worries.
means a lot. That actually does
Oh,
mean
no
that
worries
means an
at all.
incredible amount. I mean, like you can't even think that means that does mean an incredible amount. It's you never do it for that. You never do it for the thanks. You do it because I mean, for me, the one of the main reasons I love doing what I do at Bloodstock is basically I get to have. I mean I can't even remember how many in the team I've got now. I think it's about 20. I get to watch all my friends have a great weekend, play some wicked gigs, and the example I'd cite is Marissa, Little M, and she won't mind me saying this. When she started with us 3 or 4 years ago, I do duly forget because I've had so much fun. When she started with us, she was like kind of in the bottom billing of the DJs on the poster, right? She's on the bottom billing of the poster. And well, she's on Sophie playing to like 2,000 people, and there's some photos and there's some stuff. And then we're losing her this Saturday, and this is an exclusive. I don't know when this goes out, but unfortunately, someone's taken over Marissa's Silent Disco channel on the Saturday. Hi. So I'm actually going to be doing the dance channel
Oh,
on the
fantastic.
Saturday, and Jamie Haynes is going to be debuting with DJ Press Play. So Press Play is going to be doing a couple of hours. Haynes is going to be doing about an hour just on the pop channel. Harris is going to be back on the metal channel, obviously. So there will be some bearded hairy, tattooed men up on stage on the Saturday. So sorry about that. It's a bit unequal. But Marissa is actually off to do something that might or might not possibly involve supporting Fatboy Slim.
Wow.
If that's not kind of seeing progression, and Marissa has fans at Bloodstock. Marissa has genuine fans on her Little M Facebook page. You can follow her as Little M on Facebook, and on other channels as well. But find her on Facebook as Little M, and that's just M, the letter. Um, but she's genuinely made a progression, and um, that's down to Bloodstock accepting her, and that's down to us promoting her, and that's great, and that's what we want to see. That's why Seed and Akira have gone from being, you know, Sophie to main. That's why Ghosts of Atlantis are on main this
Yeah.
year. Famine, um, the ever present and amazing and brilliant and hilarious Evil Scarecrow, Raised by Owls. That's the 10-ton slug when they were there. And these are people that have gone on to see progression, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for nothing different with our DJs. We're looking to move people forward, give them confidence. I'm too old to give a living crap about being famous or being a rocket scientist or anything. I just want a quiet glass of. I look over now. I'm drinking a cheap French Merlot. I want a quiet glass of that, a nice dinner out, um, and I just want everyone having a nice time. But I also want my DJs to make progression, be famous. And the day I can't afford someone to play for me is the day I've been the most successful.
Brilliant. Fair enough. Awesome. Great. So we're nearly done, but I do like to end these interviews the same way on Crushing Sounds every single time with some random quickfire questions that have nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
You can think as long or as short as you wish, elaborate if you want to. Just some light-hearted questions to see us through to the end. So, first question: do you prefer music pre 2000 or post 2000?
Oh God, that's really difficult. You see, I'm based around songs, so I'm not based around artists. So just because you don't like Justin Bieber doesn't mean you can't say sorry isn't an absolute banger. The same. I'm trying to think now. The same with Portugal, the man. You can't you can't you can't tag a song or a band or anything to a particular thing, because brilliance doesn't have a time scale, it doesn't have a name, and it doesn't have a style. All right. Justin Bieber's Sorry is a banging song. Ministry Thieves is a banging song. Madonna, Dear Jessie, banging song. I don't care when they're from. I just want to listen to good music and enjoy good music.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm intrigued with this next one, seeing as you, by your own admission, you're not the biggest metalhead, but I always ask this one: do you prefer Metallica or Slayer?
I hate Metallica with an absolute passion. And the only there's one good Metallica song, and it is the remix of Until It Sleeps by Moby. And I'm sorry about everyone who likes Metallica. I understand. When I grew up, there was Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer. I always liked Anthrax more because they got involved with rap bands. And then you had like Biohazard and Onyx, which, and then the Judgment Night soundtrack, which was far more progressive. So if anything, I'm going to go for Slayer. But I'm also going to annoy everyone because I'm also going to say my favorite album is Divine Intervention.
Oh, nice, interesting. Fair enough. I mean, I mean, I do really love Metallica, obviously, but I reviewed their last album, 72 Seasons, for this channel, and I fucking hated it. The Metallica fans are so whiny. They will.
No, I mean, it's just basically Nickelback for metalheads, but let's not go there.
Oh God, fair enough. I won't
I've
invoke
got I'm
their
hated
wrath.
now. Everyone's gonna hate me. I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying, don't invoke the wrath of Metallica fans. If you think ill of Metallica,
Sit down,
keep it to
Lars.
yourself. Sit down, Lars, for God's sake. Anyway, next question. Um, Streaming or physical media?
Physical media.
Absolutely. Uh, Here's a random one. Cream or jam first on scones?
Wouldn't know. Don't like them. Give me a pork pie with some mustard or some piccalilli. Bloody savoury food or not at all. Bit of pickled octopus. Lovely. Stick it on your plate. You can keep your. I'm not having the raised by El scone or scone discussion either for the wall of death. No, not doing it. I don't do it. I mean, if you're going to eat something like that, it's basically like eating sawdust with glue. And no, no, there are many better things to eat. Pork pies are one of them. If failing that, go out and have a gin and tonic.
Ah, fantastic. Um, Tea or coffee?
Coffee, black.
Nice. Have you seen the announcement of the new coffee for Bloodstock? Very excited about that.
Well, you get down and try it. Get
Yeah.
down and try it. I mean, I will. I'll probably be being an arse and drinking tea and catering just because I'm contrary like that. But no, there is. I believe is it Hallowed
Hallowed
Grounds.
grounds.
I
Yeah.
think it's called from Gregory Catering. So do go and try that. I think it's in VIP.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, by all reports, a very decent drop.
Sweet. Favorite movie?
Mm. Oh God, that is incredibly hard. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, interesting. Cool. Uh,
Followed by probably followed by Full Metal Jacket.
oh, brilliant.
So,
Brilliant film.
because drug-addled wanders through Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro's mind, if nothing else, for the six-titted goat at the end, followed by Private Pile having an existential crisis over something that is far too real for us to even get into considering right now. Yeah, yeah. I mean, both brilliant films in their own way. But if you've not seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, for the love of God, watching carpet grow up a man's legs is the most amazing thing.
Fair enough. Morning or evening?
Evening, um, peace. As the sun normally goes down by the sea, the wind normally drops. Um, and there's a kind of lovely peace that descends as that sun sets. However, it can be at the dawn as well. There's a juxtaposition, but I think as the sun leaves or as the sun arrives are the two best times. I don't think you have to worry about which.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And final question: favorite album of all time?
Album? Right, okay.
Should we say song?
I don't know. You see, that's really difficult because if I say song, it's going to be Blind Melon's No Rain. Um, uh, the album I probably listen to most is the best of Counting Crows, which is kind of going to seem a very bizarre thing. But then album wise, Psalm 69 by Ministry. It has everything. It has everything you're ever going to want. Um, and that's from a person covered in tattoos inspired by KMFDM. So I'd go for Psalm 69 by Ministry because it's got Scarecrow, it's got New World Order, it's got Jesus Built My Hot Rod, and it's got all the crushing nihilism that you'd ever want from an industrial record with some little samples. And it's got Gibby Haynes from the Butthole Surfers in it, which you physically can't go wrong with.
Cool. Fair enough. Brilliant. So that's all I've got. Thank you so much, dude, for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
It's been the weirdest thing I think I've ever done, talking to my phone about myself for a long. I hope I haven't dropped anyone in it. I probably have, but It's all good. Thank you. And on behalf of your channel, thank you to every one of you that does vlogs, that does this, that does everything, because it means the world to people like us to actually talk to you guys, have a little bit of promotion, but also, help you do the thing you guys enjoy doing. And by doing the thing you're doing and by buying Mountain Caller t-shirts, you're actively supporting the bands that we're really keen on as well. So cheers, dude.
Anytime, man. Anytime, man. For everyone watching, if you're going to Bloodstock this year, I'm sure you're going to check out all the incredible entertainment that's going to be provided. It's always a riot. I'll see you all at Bloodstock. Thanks again, dude, so much for joining me. Thank you all for watching. Go listen to some amazing heavy metal, and we shall see you in the next video.